My name's Michael Johnson. I'm from a company called Consenia, which is listed on the Australian Stock Exchange with the code CGP. We're shortly about to change our name to Rhinomed at our AGM that's coming up in November 12th, which marks a significant new phase of our company's life. The first product that we're launching to market in November of this year is a product called the Turbine, which is a nasal dilation product. So this is the first iteration of our nasal dilation technology that will target not only the sport market but also the sleep and sleep apnea market, looking at the well-being market, which includes everything from meditation, yoga, Pilates, and then finally drug delivery, which is looking at delivering drugs through the nose, and that's targeting things like migraine, antihistamines, and so on. The company's had a fairly interesting history. So last year, Consenia had the Breathe Assist technology and another asset called Vibravane, which is a vibrating needle technology. And then due to some problems with the commercialisation and the licensing deal that failed to eventuate, there was a change at both the board and management level in late January, early February of this year. That marked almost a reset for the company as we looked to understand where and how we could commercialise our technologies and create real value for our shareholders. And that, as a result, has focused the company purely around the nasal technology, hence the name change, subject to shareholder approval, to Rhinomed in November of this year. There's a very clear pathway for growth. The product that's targeting the sport market, which is really initially targeting elite athletes, but also looking at the mainstream market. So that's people who cycle. So all those guys you see riding up and down the roads in their Lycra, that's who we're targeting. We're also targeting runners, anybody doing aerobic activities, because fundamentally what this technology does is increases airflow through the nose by, on average, 38%. Now that's a significant amount of increase that you're getting, so we believe that there's a significant market globally looking just purely at cycling and running and those aerobic activities. So that's where we'll be focusing initially. More importantly though, what this technology does is it socialises the idea of sticking something up your nose. A good comparator is the Breathe Right strips, those strips that go across the nose that were and are very popular. That's a significant product for GlaxoSmithKline. We'll be launching the sport market where there's early adopters, and from there, having established a foothold in that market, what we'll be looking to do is then grow into some significant markets, namely snoring, and then eventually sleep and sleep apnea. So large global markets, large growth markets as well, which is critically important for a company like ours. The key focus for the company is fourfold. Get the sport product into market, clearly demonstrate that what we have is highly attractive and will attract customers and deliver some really strong revenue lines. Extend the technology into the sleep market, focusing initially on snoring, which is an over-the-counter product in America. Clearly establish a revenue line there. And then through our clinical programs clearly show that the technology can be extended into sleep apnea. And if you think about those CPAP masks, ResMed, which is a very well-known Australian company, market cap of I think about 6 billion, they focus purely on sleep apnea. We believe we have a very compelling proposition there because our technology is a lot more user-friendly, I think if you could say, than the ResMed CPAP mask. And our clinical program will be looking to validate that it has an impact in sleep apnea. And finally, strategically show that you can deliver drugs into the nasal mucosa using our technology. And that's looking at things like, as I touched on, migraine, pain medication, and things as simple as antihistamines. So if we believe if we can show two key growth revenue lines and some clear application strategically, we'll have a company that is of real value to both to the shareholders in the short to medium term, but also potentially to a larger player long term. So I think if we can do that, we'll have turned the company from where it was in February, where it was struggling, into a real growth prospect that is pretty compelling.